Hello, 大家好, I'm Grace. Have you ever wondered why this character is sometimes pronounced as liao and other times it's pronounced as le? In this video, I will explain why certain Chinese characters have more than one pronunciation. 我会解释为什么我们会有多音字. And also, I will introduce 5 common Chinese characters that have this feature, 5个多音字, and offer tips on how to use the correct pronunciation. 那我们开始吧。There is actually more than one reason why certain Chinese characters have more than one sound. For example, it might be from Chinese characters being simplified so that 2 different Chinese characters are combined into one. Like the traditional character 别 is simplified into 别, so 别 began to have 2 different sounds. Or it might have evolved over time to have multiple pronunciations. In ancient times, Chinese words were usually formed with just one character, and when a word appeared in different contexts or with different grammatical structures, its meaning or part of speech could change. But it would be confusing if they all looked and sounded the same but had different meanings or different parts of speech, right? So to better differentiate them, their sounds might have been changed. For instance, as a noun, this character is pronounced as 种, 种. As a verb, it's pronounced as 种, 种. Actually, it's pretty similar to some English words, like this word being pronounced as address when it's a noun, but pronounced as address when it's a verb. They look the same, but we just differentiate their meanings or parts of speech depending on their pronunciations. So with these characters, to decide which sound to use, you need to pay attention to their meaning and position in the sentence. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you 5 common Chinese characters that have this feature, 5个多音字, and how to differentiate them. Let's go! This character has 2 pronunciations, le and liao. When this character is used as a particle added after a verb or a sentence, it's pronounced as le. For example, 我看了2本书. 我看了2本书. 他告诉我了. 他告诉我了. However, it's pronounced as liao when it has the following meanings. Understand, for example, 了解, 了解. 一目了然, 一目了然, complete, like 了结, 了结, 草草了事, 草草了事, combined with the or 不 to indicate possibility. For instance, 受得了, 受得了, 受不了, 受不了. Okay, now let's think about how to say the following sentence. 他去不了明天的派对了. 他去不了明天的派对了. Here, the first one is combined with 不 to indicate that the action is impossible to realize, so it should be 了. And then the second one is used as a particle added at the end of a sentence, so it should be 了. Okay, now let's move on to the next 多音字. This character has 3 different pronunciations, de, and day. When it's used as a particle added after a verb or an adjective, it's pronounced as de, like 跑得很快, 跑得很快. But when this character has the meaning of get or obtain, it's pronounced as de. For instance, 得到, 得到, 获得, 获得, and it's pronounced as day when it means have to, must, or need to. For example, 我们得快点，快迟到了。我们得快点，快迟到了。So how would you say this sentence? 他得吃得够快，才能取得大胃王比赛的冠军。他得吃得够快，才能取得大胃王比赛的冠军。The first one means have to, must, so it should be day. and the second one is added after a verb as a particle, so it's 的. The last one, 取得冠军, is to win the first place. So the 得 in 取得 has the meaning of get or obtain. It should be pronounced as 得. Okay, the next one is, you probably pronounce this as 还, right? That's correct, because most of the time when you see this character, it's pronounced as 还. But when this character has the meaning of return, it should be pronounced as 还. 还. For instance, 还钱, 还钱, 还书, 还书. So this one is simpler. You just have to remember that when it means return, it's not 还, it's 还. Now try to say this sentence. 我是不是还没还你钱？我是不是还没还你钱？ Okay, the first 多音字 is, it has two common pronunciations, 长 and 长. It's pronounced as 长 when it means long or length, like 长途旅行, 长途旅行, 长度, 长度, or when it has the meanings of be good at or adept. It's also pronounced as 长, like 擅长, 擅长, or 专长, 专长. However, this character is pronounced as 长 when it has the meaning of grow. For example, 长大, 长大, 长高, 长高. On top of this, when this character has something to do with elders, older people, or a certain position, it's also pronounced as 长. For instance, 长辈, 长辈, 学长, 学长, 部长, 部长, 执行长, 执行长. Okay, now let's think about how we should say this sentence. 许多家长都希望小孩长大能拥有一个自己擅长的技能。许多家长都希望小孩长大能拥有一个自己擅长的技能。Okay, the last 多音字 for today is, you must be familiar with its pronunciation 好, but actually when this character has the meaning of like, love, or be interested in, it's pronounced as 好. For instance, 喜好, 喜好, 嗜好, 嗜好, and 好奇, 好奇. Now let's think about how to say this sentence. 我好好奇你们怎么认识的。我好好奇你们怎么认识的。Okay, that's all for today. Let me know in the comments if you have ever been confused about how to pronounce these words. 还有，如果你觉得今天的影片对你有帮助，记得帮我按赞、订阅和分享哦。Also, if you want to learn some daily Mandarin expressions, check out my Instagram, Grace Mandarin. 那我们就下次见喽，拜拜。